Hey, dope. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our side of the table. The lady next to me, that's Robot Ocelot. The guy under me with the scully on, that's my guy, Runaway Vagabond. And today is the third episode of our side of the table.
Good.
So, yes, sir. Welcome to our side of the table, the podcast where we celebrate all things nerdy from independent comics to anime and everything in between. I'm Jay Gervera again, Robot Ocelot, and the Runaway Vagabond. And on each episode, we dive into the world of creators, artists, and fans who bring these stories to life. Whether you're a diehard comic book lover or just discovering your inner geek, this place is for you. So power up, tune in, and let's get into our side of the table. Today's guest will be the author of DayBlack. Oh, look, got it on the camera, and his name is Keef Cross. So just chop it up a little bit before we get into that. So what are we watching, guys? What have we been all crazed
Um,
about lately?
Used about
you guys can go
about
first.
that.
She said, "You guys
Uh,
can go first."
let's see. Are we talking about like anime or just like shows in general? I've been like
Anime.
okay, so we talking about anime. All right, if it's anime, then I feel like I like finished something lately. I'm trying to remember. Let me a second here. I have a
Hold
couple
on,
notes.
keep talking. I'm about to go get Keith real quick. Keep talking.
Yeah, cool. I am trying to remember what I watched lately. I'm sorry I watched so much of it that I just okay. Here's a list.
This is a
Okay. Uh,
I think
hello?
he boomered it. He's still learning, folks. I do it sometimes too. I forget and press the wrong button and hanging myself up.
I guess he'll find his way back in. I guess Dandadan has been like a very popular anime, and I'm like into the more ecchi kind of stuff, and that falls into ecchi, not as ecchi as the ecchi stuff I'm used to, but like it's fun. Uh, have you watched it at all, or is it something that you kind of just
It's
put on
on
the
my
list?
watch list. I'm probably gonna binge it all in like one sitting.
That makes
Um,
sense. I don't blame you.
yeah. Right now, I'm watching is To Love Shinobuyo,
Hmm.
and it's already been out. There's two seasons, and basically it's about this guy. He's going into high school, but he used to be one of those nerds that like really believed in what he was
all
and
right,
like
my
watching. Oh, I know you boomered it.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
we're
bad,
still
my bad,
hanging
my
out.
bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Go
was
ahead,
saying,
my bad, my bad.
yeah, I was saying I'm watching To Love Shinubayu. So it's about a guy, he goes from middle school to high school and he's trying to leave his past behind. So he goes to a high school further away than he's supposed to. So where no one knows who he is cuz he had no friends cuz he was those uber
Uh,
nerds that would act out anime scenes and pretend he had powers and all this type of stuff. Well, it turns out his upstairs neighbor was secretly spying on him, and she's also one of those that like pretends to like be have superpowers and watches anime and stuff. So she knows about his deep dark secret, but not on purpose. Just she admired him for it. So turns out she goes to the same school and she doesn't care. She acts out whatever anime scene and geeks and nerds out, and he's trying to pretend he's normal so he can at least have friends. And he's secretly
okay,
trying to
okay.
tell her like, "Hey, do not say anything about my past around these folks because I'm trying to have friends this time around." And she's like, "Okay, Lord of Darkness," and he's like, "No, I'm saying stop that."
You say
And
Lord of Darkness.
yeah, and
I'd be
uh,
mad as hell.
yeah,
It's
so
complicated.
he's trying to go through high school as a normal way of life,
Okay.
but I guess it's a romantic comedy because he's also trying to get at this one girl that he doesn't want to know that he's secretly deep down a nerd this whole time.
Hmm.
and that's To Love Shinobuyu. I'm watching that, been watching that,
I'm about to say,
but
doesn't it always end? Doesn't it always end like that?
well, I don't know. I'm also gonna watch. I'm a binge watch Solo Leveling. I've seen a few episodes of that one.
Actually, I saw that come up on my Crunchyroll list. I'm like, yo, like Vag was talking about this.
Yeah, To Love. I mean, Solo Leveling. It's a Korean.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Korean. It's a
yeah, it was a
manhwa,
Korean web series that got popular that got turned into an anime. So it is animated in Japan,
but it
and
is
it's a
originally Korean. Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
and it's about this guy. He plays this game, um, where well, they're basically it's like a reverse isekai. There's these creatures that come to our world, and he goes in there trying to like he ends up getting powers and stuff by like just working on his own, and so the
If I
because he's like
recall
the weak.
correctly, oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh no,
No,
no
no.
worries.
What was you saying? What was you saying?
He's like the weakest person in his universe, so he can't fight these demons. But like, turns out it's like he's in a video game, and he has these secret missions to do, like secret side quests to level up. And normally in their world, no one levels up; they're just pretty much born in whatever level they stay at the level. So he's secretly leveling it up, and people are wondering how's this low ranked guy like defeating monsters and shit without any else or help or whatever. And that's solo leveling. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I'm about to say, like, text me that. I'll definitely look into it because they're like, right now I'm rewatching Psychopaths, and I realized why I stopped watching it because it
Oh,
started
that
to
was
creep
awesome.
me out.
Is that the one with the cyberpunk guns, or am I thinking of a different, like, a
It's like
completely
an
different
anime
movie?
version of Manchurian Candidate. It's a
Okay,
really good
okay.
Oh,
series.
I
oh,
remember it
wait,
being so whimsical.
guys. Hold on, guys. Keef Cross is here, and I'm about to add him to the stage. I'll introduce you guys to my homeboy.
All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Don himself, Keef Cross, creator of DayBlack, one of the best books that's out on the market right now. And we actually got the chance to share a panel the other day. And I got to I mean, we actually knew each other from before, but I think we had a actually really good conversation there at the table. I'm like, man, Keith is one deep brother. You know what I mean? So, Keith, I'm gonna introduce you to my people. The young lady in the pink is Robot Ocelot, my co-host, and my other co-host, the Runaway Vagabond, right beneath me. And the concept of all of this is pretty much like lunchroom conversation, like back in the high school when you're talking about what you're watching now and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the twist about it is that we're all from the Virgin Islands. You see what I'm saying? I'm from St. Thomas. Robots from St. Thomas. Actually, for the guy, yeah. Runaway Vagabond is actually from one of the British Virgin Islands called Tortola, which he
Oh,
don't like to admit it, but it's the truth.
No,
Okay.
I've been there many times. I mean, I'm born in California, but my family's in both sides. But most of my family's in Tortola,
Yeah.
and I even went to
All
school
right.
there.
I was gonna say as soon as I heard you talk, I heard Cali. I was like, oh, he's from Cali.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you're a West Coast dude, but you need to embrace those British Virgin Island waters a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
messing with.
But yeah, at the
All
same
right,
time,
so
honorary Mexican from Southern California.
he said an honorary Mexican. So
okay.
pretty much, Keith. Thank you for joining us on our side of the table. I don't know why I called it that show. I just like how it sounded when I said it, and I think it's pretty dope, and it works for everything. We're built on fashion, anime, music, and entertainment. So we're gonna talk about, for instance, like today is, I mean, yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody, but most importantly, today is the day that Captain America: Brave New World dropped. And
Saw it.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now, do not spoil it for me. But because I'm after this podcast, I'm getting in the car and I'm headed to the movie theater.
Okay.
But I would like to ask your honest opinion on a scale of 1 to 10. How was it?
I give it a 7.
A 7.
Give it a 7, and that's because and I was super excited to see it. I was never really a big Falcon fan just because of
Right.
just Anthony Mackie just didn't really, it just didn't really wow me too much. But when I saw the Winter Soldier Falcon series, like I liked him a lot more, just from the character development they gave him. So I was excited
Right. Right.
that. But the movie, it was cartilage. You could tell it was something that was like piecing. It was connecting the bigger things that they're trying to, like the meat of the story. You could tell they're just setting it up. It was
So it's
really
not like a complete movie. It's just like a.
it's definitely a complete movie, but it felt like its whole purpose was to set things up because the story was the story was I mean, I'll just say it was a solid action flick. It was a solid action flick. It
Okay.
didn't really push anything necessarily except for setting things up. I'm not going to spoil it, but it definitely set some things up. But me personally, I'm a little worn out of the military, the military aspect of Marvel. Like even I love Winter Soldier, but even like Black Widow and upcoming Thunderbolts, and it's just a lot of like military type stuff. Like I like more of the like cosmic, powerful type stuff.
So would you say the same thing about the Punisher? Because the Punisher series was strictly like, if you looked at it, the only time they got any kind of like super fiction with it is when he crossed over into Daredevil. But when you watched it by itself, it was strictly military style.
Yeah. Well, I say that meaning like the formula that Marvel kind of has when they do these type, like the same kind of action setups, the same kind of action move, the same fight, the same machine, the same gear. Everything just kind of look interchangeable from like Winter Soldier and But I mean, I guess that's the type of movies they are. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for me to classify them as superhero films, even though they technically are. I had the same issue with Dark Knight. Like, even though Dark Knight is
Ooh,
no, excellent movie, but even though it's a superhero film, if you take Batman out of the suit, you got a crime thriller. You know what I'm saying? You got a straight up, like almost a not really a lot of but it's still a comic book movie. But when I think of comic book movies, personally, I just like the fantastical a little bit more than the groundedness. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool, but it kind of just feels like something they've kind of settled in and kind of got comfortable with, and there's really no real innovation or anything that I haven't seen before in a Jason Bourne movie that I haven't seen. And Red Hulk was awesome. You know what I'm saying? I think Red Hulk
really
worth the price of admission alone. The only thing about that is the trailers, man. That it's like they really show so much in the trailers that when you go see it, it's like, this is about.
That's a lot of trailers these days. They gotta tell the whole movie.
Yeah, you can go to the movies and then you get there to watch the trailers. You've seen all the trailers already,
I like trailers that are like super misleading. Like they show you cool shots, but you have no idea what this movie's about.
Right. But that being said, I still think it was a solid flick. I'm not gonna say it wasn't bad at all. I would recommend it if you want to stay in the loop of what's to come. But I wouldn't base my evening around it. I'd say that. You know what I'm saying? But still a solid movie.
All right, that's why I rock with you, Keith. You're gonna keep it all the way funky with me. Like, yeah, this ain't don't surround everything around it, but it's still good.
I hate to say it because just leading up to it, it's been so many racists and just bigoted people that have just been shooting it down just because he was black. So I'm going into it like, fuck that. I'm gonna love this movie. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like, and I can't really come back and say it with my whole chest that it was real because so. But I got to keep it real, man. But they asked me, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, it was fucking awesome. I loved it." You know what I'm saying? If I get the best movie ever, what are you talking about?
Like, okay, that's because the thing is, like, when you say things like that, and when you look back at some of the previous Marvel movies, like I think Black Panther, outside of Avengers, Black Panther was one of the ones that broke the box office numbers. Like,
Yeah,
because we all lined up for that.
yeah.
Like,
Dispelled,
all lined up for that.
dispelled that whole myth that black people can't lead a movie and carry a movie and it be successful. So they can't say that no more.
I'm about to say they better not. They better not.
They better not.
They will. They call
Okay, so
hire and stuff.
that's true. Okay, so here's the part that I wanted to ask you. So us being black creators, Vag had an opinion one time that was very strong, and I wanted to see if you agreed with it.
Okay.
Right? So Vag, what was it you were saying about some of the black leads in superhero movies? Like, for instance, perfect example, Captain America starts off as a white man. There was another black Captain America, but nobody heard about him. And then you got Anthony Mackie who comes out with his movie. Like, what were you repeat what you were saying when you were talking about how you don't appreciate the switch ups with certain things?
Well, yeah. I think for stuff like that, I rather him stay his own superhero as the Falcon. All the like the hand me down stuff is like, I know they tried it a lot in the comics, and those usually got the lower sales. Like I want to see the character be as stand on their own and not
Out of a
be in
recolor.
the shadow of an established white character. I think there's enough black characters and black creators out there to make original superheroes that don't have to rely on some white superhero that's already been there. And that, like, I don't want to see black Batman. I don't want to see black Superman. I want to see a black hero that stands on their own, where it's not reliant, like kind of like Black Panther. There was no White Panther before him. He just his own standalone character. Same thing with Static Shock. There's his
All
own
my homies
standalone
love Blade.
character. Yeah, Blade and all those. But I think it
Right, right.
cheapens it. It was like, oh well, there's this popular white character here, and maybe folks will like this character more if he took up the man. No, I don't want the mantle stuff. I want their own origins, like that separated from a white character. Just let them be who they are. Like, and then the other thing I don't like is like just because the character is black, I don't need to speak on like racism every single time or this. Like, I want to be able to like a black superhero just or whatever character. It doesn't have to be superheroes. Slay dragons on their own without the racial stereotype. It's just them in their universe and whatever circumstances in that universe that makes sense to to propel them to being a great character, and not like, hey, here's a checkbox that if we're going to have a black character, this is what they have to do solely just because they're black. And white characters don't have that stigma to them. They just be the character that they are. But whenever and it doesn't have to be just black characters, just any minority character, they have to have some type of checkbox in the storyline that they have to go over. And I think that gets redundant.
Do you agree with that, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think it all of that started is because, like what we were saying, they didn't think that black characters were marketable enough on their own, so they had to latch them on to these more established characters. I think it was kind of like a testing ground for them to just see. And but yeah, I totally agree with you on that. When it first started happening, like when Sam Jackson was switched out as Nick Fury, I was like, oh, this shit is cool. Even though I grew up with the white Nick Fury, and I
Right.
wanted to see him, but at the same time, Sam Jackson was just like, this is like, I don't want nobody else to be him but him. Like, I'll allow this.
Yeah,
You know?
he's the Nick. He's
Yeah,
yeah, Nick
yeah.
Fury, if you ask me.
Point where for me it became a thing about optics and just seeing us on the screen, no matter how we
Yeah,
got there, because we weren't there at all at one point. You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, a win is a
yeah,
win.
that was a start.
Yeah, it was a start. But then but then when stuff started happening, like, and then I learned something about myself. I was like, yeah, because I used to be really like pro race swap. Like, yeah, they've been the default for 100 years since Hollywood was inception. Like, we've been the sideline characters, so we need to do that. But then I remember one day somebody said they wanted to make Wolverine black, and I was like, hold up.
What?
So,
Wait, what's that
so what I
about?
realized is I drew the line at characters that I care about. If it's somebody,
there you go.
somebody I didn't really fuck with that much.
Some character you don't know, Beast Boy.
Or black area, but don't mess with the ones that I grew up with. I want them to be like they are. Like, I don't want to see no black version of X-Men. That's my favorite group. My favorite comic is X-Men. So
really,
I want to see no black version of them because if we got an all black version of X-Men, then what makes Storm special now? You know what I'm saying? Because Storm she stood out because she was the only black one, blue eyes, white hair. If they all black,
what are we doing? Yeah.
Unintended, So, so at this point, fundamentally, I'm like, come on, man, it's getting old now. I'm like, and now it just seems like they're doing it for just like engagement,
points,
engagement. You know what I'm saying? Just for people to get mad and it's
that kind of engagement.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where I get I hate to see a Marvel movie announcement or a Star Wars movie, anything that I love, because all the racism just comes with it. Like, you can't even really be excited or really relish in the fact that a movie you want to see is coming out because it's tainted with so much hate and like bigotry, man. Like,
and then when it does bad, they're like, oh, it's because a colored person is in it. And not because they literally just like recycled a story that they already used.
Yeah, it's like the story is gonna suffer automatically just because they introduce some black people in it.
Yeah. Well, like I'll give you an example. Like, one of my most hated characters is Miles Morales.
Okay.
And I did not watch Into the Spider-Verse. It was just it was just, if I'm just talking the comics, like, say Into the Spider-Verse never existed. If I'm looking into the comics,
hold. Wait, stop. Why are me and you friends? Why?
Well, here I'm explain with Miles Morales. The
Please.
problem Miles Morales has is everything is a rehash of what Peter Parker's already done, or a storyline he's already done, right? His villains are mostly always Peter Parker villains. They got the same story arcs, and it's like, I don't want a black version of Peter Parker. Can't he just be his own character on his own? Static Shock did an episode with they had like an African spider where he could stand parallel against gravity, and they called him the human spider. Like, do something like that. I don't need like all these different versions of Peter Parker. Just let Peter and just for the get-go, I'm not a multiverse guy. I like that's why
I'm too
manga
tired.
usually like winning over American comics is because if someone new came in and they're like, hey, I like this character or this story, where do I start? You start issue 1 and just go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever. You can't do that nowadays because they rehash, if it's Spider-Man, this version of this multiverse or whatever, I can't tell a new reader to go, just read issue 1, then issue 2, and just go in that order. And I think that's a failure of American comics. Is like, I think fans appreciate continuity, and the more you just branch off of different versions, it's hard for newer readers to like come into it, as opposed to like manga or anime, where it's like, hey, just start issue 1. That's plain and simple. Issue 1, issue 2, issue 3.
5,000.
Yeah, like, I'm not a One Piece person, but I know if I do want to get into One Piece, I start at issue 1. Like that. I ain't trying to read for an eternity of One Piece, but
right.
I'm about to say, I'm still looking at y'all like, oh, we doing 1,000 episodes of an anime? Like, bro, I have a life. I love anime, but not that much.
So are you not watching Into the Spider-Verse? You're actively just not choosing not to watch it, or you just hadn't gotten around to it?
I just it didn't appeal to me. One, I grew up not liking Miles Morales, so it's like, oh, so it's like if Miles Morales is the center focus, then I'm like, I'm for me it doesn't pique my interest. But unlike if you do a Wolverine movie, I go see that all day. uh, it is, and the main problem I have with Miles Morales is like he doesn't feel like his own character, and it doesn't have to just be black characters either. It's the reason why I can't fall in love with Tom Holland Spider Man, is because the Spider Man I grew up with is he's
The
able to,
original
yeah, he's
fun
able to
guy.
do things on his own. He becomes a super genius and invents the way, stuff like that. And now
Mhm.
he's like, oh well, he's under the shadow of Iron Man. I was like, oh, I'm not interested in that. Like, and so so it's not just the color thing too. It's just in general, like I like the characters to stand on their own. It's cool they have team ups and stuff or whatever, but like if a character can't basically if a character can't stand on their own based on morals or stuff that they do, as opposed to like, hey, we got to check these boxes specifically because they're this color or whatever. Like we didn't get that with Mace Windu. He was just his own character on his own in the Star Wars universe. Nothing about color was brought up. He was just existing in that universe, and many people liked him.
Okay.
Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. So what do you? I mean, oh, 1 second. My bad. Picked the wrong thing. So, Vag, do you feel better?
Yeah, that was my soapbox moment for the moment, or my TED talk.
Okay.
Okay,
I about to
cool.
say, I
All
said
right.
like, hold on. Before we even take another step forward, Vag, do you have anything else you would like to say?
No. We can move forward, or
All
unless
right,
you
cool.
want a deep diver.
No. We only this ain't we ain't got that long for a show, bro.
Right.
Like I
I
love
would
you,
like
but
to
we
add to it to some degree, not like the racial morals of it, but as an artist
okay. Go ahead.
myself, I found a lot of. I mean, this is because I'm an artist, not because like a common like viewer who just goes to the movies to watch movies. But I actually found into the spider well not into spider but the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies to be really like fun as far as like how they experimented with art styles, how they experimented with particle effects and the frame rate. Even DreamWorks took notes and did the drop frame rate thing in what was that very popular movie? It was Puss in Boots, and that was like a
Okay.
fun, and that I feel like Puss in Boots got a lot of inspiration from Spider-Verse to begin with. And I'm just saying that even if you don't want to watch it because Spider-Man, because honestly, I'm not as attached to Spider-Man as everybody else. If you would like to just see somebody just have fun, with breaking lines in art and breaking rules, I definitely say give it a try regardless. I remember they made an entirely new like engine in order to even render some the way the lines rendered in and out during movement and stuff like that. But as I said, this is purely of an artistic point of view, and like Puss in Boots can still like stand on its own. It's got its own like style, but you can see if you ever like compare them to compare the two properties, there's some notes taken there.
Yeah, I think
Okay. I can see that.
Into the Spider Verse for me, it was besides it just being a visual, technical, just benchmark. I think in animation, like first, like if you didn't know anything about Spider Man in general, you could go and be wowed just from the technical aspect of it. But I really liked how they put a focus on his parents and him being mixed heritage with his
Hispanic, yeah.
mother being was she Puerto Rican or Dominican or one of them?
Oh, Puerto
Dominican.
Rican.
Yeah, they really
Oh, I thought it
leaned
was
No,
Puerto Rican.
Dominican.
yeah, and they really
Oh,
showed that
they didn't
culture.
one of the games. They actually put the wrong flag or something.
Uh,
They probably did.
Probably.
That's messed up.
I would not be surprised. Unfortunately, I just
but yeah, it
that's
was
what we got to deal with.
how they portray New York, and but for me, it was all about the visuals was just insane. Like I'd never seen anything like that at the time.
Yeah.
I was like Miles, like I would just, well, I don't know, watch it with the volume down. I don't know, but it's just a visual masterpiece, man.
Yeah, I can understand that. I've been telling people to watch an anime where it's like if you're familiar with Dante's Inferno, where it's like cardboard cutouts and there's like different frame, like what was it? Not claymation, but it's almost like the stop motion. Almost that's the way they animate it. There's an anime that does it really well called Yamishibai. Each episode's like 5 to 7 minutes long, and it's modern Japanese yokai or ghost stories in like modern settings, and like no one there usually survives. But if you like good horror, and it's nice and quick, because like I said, each episode's like 5-7 minutes long for each story. Yamishibai is a really good one to check out, but it's all like cardboard cutout, so it's like different scenes and stuff with like the characters and stuff. So I appreciate like different art styles and stuff is like that as well.
Is it meant to emulate like the Japanese, what was it called, the paper doll style they're doing, or is it something different?
No, it's closer to, if you've seen that Dante's Inferno movie, where it's like it's all like cardboard stop motion. It's mostly like that, and each character is like different scenes and cut out like that.
Okay. All right. Definitely look into that because that sounds dope as hell. My next question is for Mr. Cross. All right. Well, the thing is, I know you. I've been following your stuff. I've loved your stuff for quite some time now. So, shit, thank you, bro. This is an awesome book. Like this concept is, I'm sitting there like, yo, like, what did he do? Did he light up before he did this and made it a masterpiece? Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, check out the art in this, right? All stuff that he did is amazing, isn't it?
Some questions and stuff like that, because I mean that's a style. I'm not gonna say it's a style that I've often like strived for, but I've always found fascination. I'm someone, when it comes to art, I love when you can arrange shapes. I don't know, I like to be able to break things down into shapes when it comes down to it, and yours has a lot of that. It has a very like carved woodblock feel, I suppose, with the dramatic contrast that I've seen in the pages that I've looked at. So yeah, I've always found that like really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody always compares it to wood carvings or something like that. But yeah, thank you. And yeah, smoked a lot of weed when I first started doing that. I was also
he's being wanted like, yeah, bro, I lit up.
all that stuff, man. So when I would come back from those trips, these are some of the ideas that I would have. But initially, it all started out when I was tattooing, when I first started my tattoo apprenticeship, and just on those slow days, because in the wintertime is when like people don't get tattoos as much because nobody's showing skin. So during this time, job tattooing each other or just messing around, and that's when I kind of just started coming up with the idea of a vampire story. And initially, the seed that really planted it was Interview with a Vampire.
There you go. A good movie, classic movie.
Right, and what sparked it was because I wasn't even really that big into vampires initially, but when I saw that, you remember when they were when Lestat and Louis were feeding on the slaves on that plantation?
Yeah.
Slaves revolted and like kind of drove them out. So I was like,
right.
Story in there somewhere. Like I know they was feeding on some people. Like what happened to these people that they were probably eating? And I know they probably let some loosies go. There might be some young vampires running around. So that's the plan for me to even make it based in slavery. And
to me that's just so dope because I sit there like, yo, he based that off of Interview with the Vampire. Like that's genius. Like I have a vampire concept myself, but my inspiration was from because again, if we're talking about racial morality, I didn't want to go the same route as Dracula, Transylvania. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. So, but when I watched Vampire in Brooklyn,
Mm.
a vampire from the Caribbean, I'm like, hold up for a second. I'm listening now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
So
that's kind of dope. Like,
yes, yes. But yeah, but it's like, yeah, but when you get into something like something that's so done to death, like vampire stories, you have to do something different. Like even with DayBlack, I changed up little things like all vampires aren't repelled by a cross, because if you weren't a Christian
Yeah,
human,
exactly.
why would
I think about that
that
a
bother
lot.
you? So it's really whatever your belief is, that's the symbol that would repel you as a vampire. So just playing around with little stuff like that, but still kind of keeping the core traits. It's just a way,
mm,
because it's so, to do a vampire story now, it's just so redundant that you have to switch it up. And really, and another movie that people clown me about when I mention it, but was a huge influence, was Twilight.
I mean, that's influenced a lot of things in
And it's
local. I
and,
mean, in
and and it influenced me because it showed me that vampires don't have to be what they've always been. Like, yeah, their skin was glitter. They didn't even have fangs, but they were
I would
still,
say, bro, like I would like I would clown you too.
right.
Like,
So I have teenage daughters at the time, so they drugged me to the movies to go see it, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But then I was like, oh, this is kind of ill. Like, I've never seen nothing like this. Like, the skin glitter was corny. I was like, that's all y'all scared of is shining in the. All right, but just the fact that they had different powers and they was kind of like mutants almost. I was like, this is like, I've never
yeah,
seen, So I was like, that let I could really do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? As long as
yeah.
they drink blood and they got to sleep at night. After that, you can go wherever you want to go with it.
Body
Right.
dead.
I said that like yo, are we kidding ourselves? Because I was talking to my partner about writing the story, and I'm sitting there like vampirism is a rabbit hole that I'm never gonna come out of.
Really though.
Like, so I'm sitting there like, how are we gonna do this? He's like, okay, let's challenge the concept of vampirism itself. So when you said that, I'm like, yo, Architect said that. Architect said that same thing. Challenge vampirism out of a vampire. I'm like, all right, bet. That's
Absolutely.
dope.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting there like,
Just to keep it interesting.
just for the record, y'all, he signed mine. He signed mine.
Nice.
Cross is my guy. Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
Um, so we okay. Next thing I wanted to talk about. Big shout out to Tony Cage for Challenges Games for the hosting the next expo that's gonna be in March. Covey Entertainment Universe is gonna have a table there. Are you gonna be there, Keith?
Probably. Yeah. I got to check.
What?
Usually at his events when I can be. So yeah, I try to support Tony. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, Tony, super dope, super dope. He even told me, I don't know if I let you know this, I have my own coffee brand,
Yeah.
and oh yeah, I did talk to you about it. So Tony was like, yo, you can sell that here if you want to. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, Tony,
And he
like
don't even
you,
really no money, man. I was like, yo, you need some money? He was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, all right, thank you, man. Like, he's that cool with it.
like salute God, like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, trust me, Tony is like the cornerstone for all guys creative in comics in Atlanta. So I can't even knock him. Like, yo, appreciate you, big homie.
Right.
Appreciate you for real. Because it's like he knows what it was like for all of us to get started. Because in this game, unless you're smart, unless you like got some type of strategy, there ain't a lot of money in this. It
You
ain't,
don't
and that's just
make comics for money, man. That's not
yeah.
why you.
That's right. No, we make it. We know that we
Right.
make it for fans.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Us in this table at this table at our side of the table, we do this for fans because I want one day. And shout out to Marcus Williams, my sensei. I want the same feeling that he had when somebody dressed in cosplay as his characters for Tuskegee Airs. Yo, that would be dope if somebody came up, a skinny nigga came up in DayBlack tattoos.
That's happened. Yeah,
That's happened, right?
I was like,
Oh, that's
oh,
nice.
shit.
That's cool.
Very humbling. Very humbling.
It's humbling. You know what I mean? Oh, you can also find DayBlack at Stonecrest Library here in Georgia.
Yep.
You know
Also,
what I mean? Remember they had say that one more time?
also my parents' basement. You ever been there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I mean my Olu comic books is in there. Yeah, my parents' base. I didn't know. I just didn't know you was in there too.
Yeah, I'm in there too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's like. We at the point where we putting these on the shelves. We are not playing with people. We are not playing with you.
Sir.
Did you get a chance to go to the Orlando Con that just passed? The Mega Con.
I
You
did
didn't
not.
get a chance to go?
I got to pick my cons pretty carefully, man, because the last one I went to was Blurred Con, I believe, and
Okay.
and it was like everybody was saying like it was a great con, and I guess when we got there, I guess it was new management or something, and we spent like a lot to go out there. Like it was a lot for us to like get all the product, get everything out there, get an Airbnb. And
Are you talking about urban BlurredCon? Blurred something like that?
it was in DC, Blurred Con.
Blurred, Black Nerd Convention.
I know what blurred is.
You
I'm just
squinting like
saying,
you're trying to figure things out still. I just gotta help you out sometimes.
no, I'm just saying no, because there was a urban con that flopped down here in Atlanta. Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, and it didn't. Now I'm not gonna say it flopped. It did great, but the thing about it is, more cosplay focused. So we come in there thinking, just like take Black Comic Book Festival at Harlem, the Schomburg, like that.
Right.
That con is focused on books. Like people come there because it's in the library. People come there, they want books. Blurred Con,
Right.
like, oh, y'all got comics, that's cool, but everybody had cosplay on. It was like,
Yeah, it's just
that's like people really buying comics. So everybody that was there, like me, David Crowns, like everybody, Marcus, we were all like, well, of course, Marcus and Greg, they was doing what they do. They don't have those issues, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, this was the year. This is a weird year because last year it wasn't so heavily promoted as a cosplay event. And I say that to say that I just got to be more particular about the cons I do and just really do a little research on the audience they're there for. Because we took a loss, man. We took a big loss on that, and that kind of had me a little discouraged on just jumping into the next one. Like I just got a application to go to New York Comic Con, but just the price, their tables are like, and I've been waiting to get in there, but the price of the table right now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing it this year. But at the same time, I'm like, man, this might not happen again. Like, there's people been trying to get into New York Comic Con for decades, so I'm
Right.
Are you
So
based here in Georgia?
You say what?
Are you based in Georgia?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So when we went to Schomburg, even that was a lot. I mean, it's just a trip, just to lug all your stuff up there, not knowing how much to bring, you don't want to bring too much, you don't want to bring too little and sell out early. So it was a lot. I went to Schomburg. I ended up having to leave a bunch of books with my man that lived in the Bronx, and he still got them to this day. I just brought too much stuff because the first year I came, I didn't bring enough. So it's just, but it's a good problem.
Nah.
On them,
No, I feel you. Like for when it comes to cons like that, like for instance, so one thing I didn't know is that dancing dudes, like the pop lock dudes,
Yeah.
I didn't know them dudes was nerds. I didn't know they like comic books. I had no idea. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Johnny Lee. He's one of he's part of the dance community here in Atlanta, Georgia, and he throws some of the biggest parties. So one of the parties I got a table at, and it was sponsored by Samsung, right? And it was huge. It was huge. It was a bunch of celebrity people there, a bunch of celebrity influencers, and it was really, really, really good. I sold out Covey Entertainment Universe sold out, and I'm talking everything from the shirts to the books. And I got a crazy jump in my social media following. I'm like, God, who are you people? Like, oh yeah, I was there at the dance.
Were you the only
So
person?
I was that's the thing. I was the only person selling comic books because everybody else was doing clothes.
Right, and I've been in like I found that whenever you, because I used to vend anywhere, and I found like when
Right.
you where you're the only person there with a thing, people will get it because you're the only one in there with it, as opposed to everybody there with comics. You got to compete with everybody. But if you're the only person there with comics, like I've gone to a hair show before, the Bonner Brothers hair show, and I sold out
Right.
like just because people were like, "What a vampire tattoo?" I like they would just get it just for the give me being there,
Who
you know.
got brought along?
Tell people, man,
Hell yeah.
you can go wherever you can sell your book, do it. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Right. I've been trying to tell people like, so this one of the goals this year is InvestFest. You see what I'm saying? There's a guy there, I forgot his name, but he had a book that I'm telling you, I'm gonna get like 5 of them about teaching children financial literacy.
Mm.
I sat there like, bro, what? And then I got a book, and then I got another book about how to start your own ATM business.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so you know what that showed me? Even though, yeah, we do this for the fans, we're still a business. And there's a difference between being one of the best and one of the only. There's a serious difference. So I said there like, okay, now I need to activate the hustler in me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's see what we can do. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we want the fans and we love the fans. We're always gonna love the fans. We gotta make some numbers happen though. You know what I mean? That's just me on my hustle. That's all. Part of me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So here's my next question for you, Mr. Keef Cross. So we are now working on volume 3 of my book called Olu. Reason is it to be Olu the Punished Fox? The title of it is Reasonable Doubt. And we already got Marcus for the cover. When we do volume 4, I was gonna ask you if you want to do the cover for volume 4. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dope. Yo, we got Keef Cross, yo.
All right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I love when other creators reach out to me. It doesn't happen often because I feel like my style is so niche that a lot of people don't really I think you have to have a certain type of story you're trying to tell to really want me to draw your cover. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really do a lot of capes and really buff like traditional superheroes, even though I can.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
people don't see that from me, so I don't really get approached to really do a lot of that type of stuff, even though I would love to, you know. And I'll knock
I'm about to say, exactly. I'm about to say, like, the only reason they don't do that is because they probably ain't never rolled up out you at a show.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
saw your table. I'm sitting there like, yo.
Well, I'll change that. People ask me all the time, but are they serious? I'm talking about serious inquiries. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
That are going to last the duration of that kind, and then tomorrow is like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. I'm sitting there. Keef,
just
like Keef Cross is that dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to be.
Yeah. Shit. I mentioned this young lady to you, Robot, before. I mentioned her to you in one of our conversations. That's the young lady that can do tattoos.
That's what I'm
She
hoping
can.
to do.
Oh, you do that?
She wants to do.
Oh, you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Have to pull together some art for you to look at. I don't post on Instagram anymore, mostly because there's a whole lot of fear that got into me once the whole like AI art started going around, and I'm just like, oh, people snatching my art and putting it into their thing. But yeah, if you want, I can shoot you some stuff that I have. If there's anything.
Yeah, that's cool.
you're looking for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put your stuff out there though. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that too. But then I like entered my name in the AI. He was like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
So Like,
Yeah, that's real talk.
Well, here's my understanding with the AI. Most of the people using it, the AI has only like a limited amount of styles that these people keep using. So, it's like, okay, they got the Studio Ghibli, the super hyper realistic, whatever,
Yeah.
and that's usually about it. I like,
that
so
arcade.
like, yeah, so like I'll see all this AI art and I'm like, oh well, I'm not impressed by it. I understand people use it like YouTube, because I hang out with a bunch of YouTubers. They'll use it for thumbnails or something real
Thumbnails,
quick.
yeah.
But other than that, I personally don't see AI taking over the world pretty much.
I mean,
It,
no, I just
I don't care how far future. Oh, it's still in the beginning and stuff. Like if you see the work that's being produced, it's like they all look alike.
derivative. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think I've seen some work that was like I couldn't tell that it was AI. Now, of course, you could tell immediately sometimes,
Yeah.
but and like really like damn, like. But the best case scenarios are the ones I've seen where people just incorporate their own artwork into it and kind of use the two kind of with each to just let the computer do all the work. Those have been like the best case scenarios. But I would say, but as far as you uploading your stuff, like I would say definitely, I would do it just because it's so much community that you could build online. Like anything that I got, any successes that I've had through my comic book have all come through social media. It's just come from people in other countries that's commissioned me just because they saw my work online, or I got my first publishing contract just from posting my stuff on Facebook. So don't put yourself in such a bubble to where you're not making yourself discoverable. Because I know, like myself, like artists, we tend to be introverts. We tend to be the worst in self-promoting ourselves, which is the beauty of the internet, is because it really lets your work kind of speak for you, and then it has so many eyes on it. And so I would just say, if you have something that you feel is near and dear to your heart, and something that you feel like you don't want anybody to steal, just copyright that thing. Even then, there's really no getting around it. Like once you put it
Yeah.
out
Yeah, that's what there's out there.
So, but at the same time, you're not gonna get anywhere if nobody sees your stuff, and that's the most effective way to get it. So, I think for me, and why I continue to post like pretty fearlessly, is because and I think you really have to be comfortable in your own art and your own style. Like I'm comfortable in what I do, so I'm not really worried about somebody trying to steal my style or nothing, because I feel like it's cemented, and I have so many other different styles too, besides what you see in DayBlack. That's just like my comic
Yeah.
book style. But how old are you?
I am 32.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not supposed to ask a woman. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to ask a lady her age. I'm sorry, but I
Leave that out.
I know you young.
We're not. Hold on. When we go through edit it, we'll just
But I know you're younger than me, so I'm just like utilize it. But at the same time, I know it could be stressful because I have a daughter. She's 25 and she's an artist too. But she would post stuff and she would get so discouraged if she didn't get any likes. She would feel like she was less of an artist if she wasn't getting that instant feedback, or a bunch of 100 people likes her picture. She didn't feel like she was being a good artist. And I was so grateful just knowing that I came up in a time where we didn't really have that type of pressure, other than
man,
or somebody critiquing it, but we didn't have the world like, oh, your shit's trash, or you need to, like we didn't have that. So I feel for the generation that really knows nothing but the internet as far as getting their art out there, because it is a lot of pressure. Even for me, for a minute, I would draw stuff. I would be up drawing late at night, like, oh yeah, they gonna love this shit. I'm gonna
Yeah, and then they're just like, nah.
And then they just like
it's too personal. It's too niche.
And then I have to be like, okay, so what are you making art? Because I got lightweight bummed out to what a point where I started not posting anything. I would just create, post it, create, not post it. And it's kind of like a weird form of edging. You know what I'm saying? Just like keep creating and don't post it. Keep creating and don't post it. And I just stockpiled all this artwork. And it really was fulfilling to me to not post stuff until I feel like, you know what? I'm going to let this one go. Fuck it. I'm going to let them see this. But it was, when you take the pressure off of it, for me, the artwork got a little more purer to me, and then not just trying to do something that I felt was gonna like get a bunch of likes. I got caught up in that for like maybe 5 minutes. I had to get up out of that because that's
So how long did it take? How long did it take you to do that elephant right behind you that I'm looking at?
Oh, I didn't do that. That's just a big tapestry I bought.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, bro, like you talking about sitting down and doing it. I'm like, how long did that take you?
That's similar to if I was gonna do an elephant, that's how I would do it. Something similar to
Yeah. Cool. So, so quick question: what can we look forward from you from the future, other than the Volume 4 cover? I mean, appreciate that, but
Yeah,
what else can we look forward from you?
So right now, like just last night, I was having a meeting. We're doing a DayBlack interactive show.
Right.
It's gonna have. It's basically gonna be like a live action with theater elements, ballet elements, live music.
Hold on, pause. Anybody else hearing that? Like,
I'm just like, someone's real hungry.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, because I've had a few opportunities, and my deal with DayBlack is because we already shot a short film. If you go to my website,
okay.
But I'm always
Say your website out loud for everybody.
Yeah, it's dayblackcomic.com.
Okay, cool. We'll definitely look into that.
Check out the short film we shot. But I'm just all about putting my IP in as many different forms that I can, just so when the opportunities arise, I have kind of proof of concept for anybody to see. Because for me personally, I've never just wanted to sit and just draw comics for the rest of my life. I feel like, even though I grew up reading comics, I feel like I've always referred to myself as I'm not a comic book artist. I'm an artist that made a comic book. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's dope. That's hard.
Yeah, and I say that because I know to be a comic book artist, you have to have a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of being able to turn around these deadlines at a certain amount of time. You have to be able to really be almost like an assembly line mentality. You know what I'm saying? And I've never been an artist. Like, I really work on DayBlack when I feel inspired to do it. Like, when I feel the need to do it, I do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's been a hindrance because, you get it done when you get it done. If you're not really tripping, like the next issue, it might be another year before I put it out. But I'm not really
facts.
I'm not really stressing it because if it don't come naturally, I'm not gonna end up liking it. But so the movie, so the series, so what I was talking about before, the DayBlack interactive show is called Red Cotton, and it's gonna be just basically a kind of inside look at DayBlack with just like the characters, but not necessarily from the book, but kind of like a side story. Because I partnered with there's this artist named Eric Nine. He's a really prolific muralist in Atlanta. You've probably seen he does like these really colorful elephants and ballerinas on walls around the city.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He does this show every year called Twisted Circus. And he has like
Twisted Circus.
Yeah, Twisted Circus. And I went to the show last year, and I was like, wow, this shit is crazy. So I reached out to him. Me and him had done like shows before over the years, but I reached out to him like, yo, because I did a smaller version of the Red Cotton show maybe about 5 or 6 years ago without any of that stuff. But I wanted to always expound on it. So I reached out to him like, hey, you want to do this? He was like, hell yeah. So right now, we got all our actors cast. We're going to.
Hey, except for me, like I'm an actor. I like to be,
I didn't know that, but it's already locked in right now. But but that's the thing. We were talking about it today. We're gonna have extras. You know what I'm saying?
I want lines, bro. I'm an actor.
Because his tattoo machine warms his blood through a coffee machine, so it might be able to get some.
We'll work something out.
And we also have I don't know if y'all are familiar with the singer Joy, but she's signed on to play his mom LaRue, who is the vampire that like bit him, is like the big bad of the story. So
that's hard.
Yeah. And again, that's just from social media. Like, I reached out to her and was like, because I told her she was a visual inspiration for LaRue. The character's name is LaRue, and she
Mhm.
was about it. Then I sent her a copy of the book, and she loved it. And then I was like, let me just hit her up and see, if she might be down to do it. And she was, and I was like, whoa. So that's the power of the internet, man. Even the gig I
That I'm
got.
about to say that's the big wow right there. Like, yo, this is really about to happen.
Yeah. And even when I was working, even when I got a graphic novel I'm working on with Tyra Banks right now. She just Googled
Dope.
black comic book artists, and I popped up, and she reached out to me based off that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
always
hard. That's hard.
out there, put your stuff. You never know who's looking. You know.
All right, but look, my dude, this was an awesome interview. Like I told you, like I rock with you, bro. Like, and to get to do that panel with you, like I sat there, I sat there in that channel, like, yo, I'm on the right hand side of Keef Cross.
Quit playing, man. Thank you. I appreciate
It is. I'm like, oh shit, this is dope. But thank you for joining our side of the table. I already posted on Instagram. I tagged you in it. That
it.
the whole. I mean, I didn't. Not the film. It's just a photo.
Okay.
And just share it if you can, if you don't mind, and let people know that you came to our side of the table for a quick interview. And thank you for meeting my cohorts and my people. And I mean, I love these guys to death. Vag is one of my soldiers, one of my best dudes. Love him with all my heart. Robot I've known for well over a decade, and she's like a little sister to me. So the fact that you get to meet some of the people that are dear to me because I look up to you means a lot. I definitely appreciate you being here.
Right on, man. Thank you for having me. Great meeting you guys too, man.
All right.
Definitely.
And
Likewise.
thank you for the show. And I will hit you up a little bit later and we'll chop up because you're doing a lot of things and I'm trying to get down. It's your boy.
So that's what it's
All right, salute, man. You have a wonderful day, and we'll chop up later.
all right, peace.
Have a good
All
one.
right, take care.
That was awesome. Keef Cross is that dude, and you guys was absolutely awesome as shit. Awesome as shit. Vag, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm about to say you look unenthused. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, I ain't doing nothing.
What you
I'm still
on?
recovering
Robot.
for. I'm still recovering from MegaCon.
Dude,
Uh,
post-con depression hitting you yet?
No, I'm
oh
just
my
tired.
god, I hate when that happens.
No,
Just like, oh, I gotta
How
go to
you?
normal life again. Damn.
that
How
drive
you?
down
How
and
you?
drive back up.
Oh yeah, that is a stretch like an 8 hours. How you feeling, Robot? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. To the fans, thank you for being a part of the Covey Entertainment universe and sitting down at our side of the table. And we very much appreciate it. We'll hit you next week with our next guest being Julius Jackson. And if it ain't Julius Jackson, I got somebody else to sit at our table. It's your boy. We can make it work. I will talk to you later. Say good night, y'all.
All right, night.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
And